life. I want a blessed life. This morning in our 9:15 a.m. service, I had a flashback, a traumatic flashback that I shared with the church this morning of something that happened to me that traumatized me that I remember even now as a gentleman almost 40 years old. I was traumatized. Somebody shout, Pastor was traumatized. I was traumatized. Marcus, I was traumatized. Listen, this is real deep to me. I was traumatized that I could still think about this some 25, 30 years later. In the late 1990s, my grandmother became ill and had surgery, and she moved in with my family, my mother, my stepfather, my sisters. Time progressed on and my sisters moved out. They got grown. They started smelling themselves and, moved out with their little men friends, eventually got married and had children, and left in the house was just me, my mother, and my grandmother. But what was so traumatic is that 6 o'clock every morning, somehow without hearing the sound of an alarm clock, at 6 o'clock every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It makes me think about Alexander O'Neal and Sherelle Sunday. Saturday love, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Y'all don't know anything about that. But Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 6 o'clock in the morning, I heard a sound that was so piercing to me that left a traumatic effect upon my life. It was the sound of my grandmother, and she would raise her voice. Now, some of you have heard me talk about my grandmother before. She was born in Swainsboro, Georgia. She had to pick cotton and even plow in the fields, the family farm, before she even was allowed to go to school in the morning. And then they walked 3 miles. So at that time, they did not have alarm clocks. You just had an internal clock in your body to know what time it was to get up and do what you had to do. So my grandmother now had this still internal clock cookie on the inside of her that 6 o'clock when every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Lamar, my grandmother would yell these words, Jeffrey! She would get real loud, go turn the porch lights off. Go turn the porch lights off. Well, I don't know what kind of family you lived in, but where I come from, that indicated whenever the porch lights were off, that means somebody in the house was up. All right. So my grandmother, being this older woman, she would yell, Jeffrey, go turn the porch lights off. Now, the house, my brothers and sisters, was kind of split level, and the room that my grandmother stayed in was right next to mine. So it will be loud with her door closed that I can hear it through the walls that I need to turn it off. And one day, I don't know what possessed me, what type of sleep I was in, I had the audacity to yell back to my grandmother, you turn them off. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. At this time, my grandmother wasn't a little bitty woman, so I heard her open the door. There was a creak open, and she walked down the stairs, and she turned off all of the lights, and then she came back upstairs to my room, and she opened my door. And before I knew it, I felt the swish in the wind, and there was a contact between my grandmother's hand and my face. And she said, what did you say to me? And I knew at that moment in time, I don't care how precious I was to my grandmother, I bet not talk back to her. And it was because of that I murmured the words that all of us as adults have murmured before. I said to myself, I cannot wait until I get grown. Have y'all ever said that? I cannot wait until I get grown. I just wish I knew then what I know now. Many of us would say, if I can just go back to the time of being a child, I would love that. Y'all young people that's in here, Don't be in a rush to get old. Do you hear what I'm saying? Don't be in a rush to become an adult, because becoming an adult, you have rent and mortgage payments. You have car note payments. You have health insurance. You have life insurance. You have light bill and water bill and gas bill. You got to put groceries in the house. You got to put clothes on the children. So be careful before you say, I can't wait till I get grown. But those words for leader opens up a myriad of imagination of how life would be once we got to that adulthood and stage in life. Can I tell you, my brothers and sisters, the same picture that many of us had in our mind about being adults, that God has a picture in his mind of what he wants you to have. He's waiting for you to allow your imagination to catch up to the reality of what he's already spoken. And what he's spoken in your life, Sister Lizette, is that he wants all of us to be prosperous. Somebody shout prosperous. He wants all of us to be prosperous. Lay your hands on yourself and say, God wants me to be prosperous. And what is prosperity? 3 John chapter 2, he says, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. It is the desire and the design of God that you're walking in prosperity, that you're walking in the blessings of God, even as you're progressing in your health, even as your soul prospers, that as life continues to tick on, he wants to make sure that you're prospering. He wants to make sure, Tierra, that your business is flourishing to where you have so many clients that you have a waiting list, that you have multiple streams of income, that you can employ your family to help you with the family business, that you're doing this and you're doing that. God wants me to be prosperous. Somebody shout, God wants me to be prosperous.